I had a whole thing planned to say. I don't know. Um, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the Geet Up. Today we're talking the reunion of Love is Blind, and I'm solo in the studio. Billy's out. I don't know what he's doing during Love is Blind. And then, of course, we have Ashley in Alaska still.
Thanks for having me. Sorry that I'm so far away.
All right, so let's get into this reunion. And apparently they're filming it at the pods. We got Nick Lachey running around talking to Vanessa through the wall.
That's right, we got more behind the scenes, more guests, and more surprises than ever before.
Amy's looking like Jessica Rabbit out there. What do you think about that, how they were dressed?
Yeah, I mean, some of these ladies really brought it. In fact, I think all of them did. I wasn't a big fan of Chelsea's outfit, but Amy looked great. She did look like Jessica Rabbit. Jessica, I mean, we knew she was going to look great in AD. Come on.
I actually thought Chelsea looked okay, but like AD was trying to like bring the rated R or something. She was wearing like
Yeah.
some see-through stuff.
Yeah. I bet you were trying to see through that, weren't you?
And they bring out like old cast members and we see like all the successful couples, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising to hear them say that there were 9 of 11 couples that got married still together. I feel like there were way more breakups than that, but
And then the show starts getting a little spicy. They start off with getting into Jeremy's business, and he's got a girl,
yeah.
Sarah Ann.
Yeah. So this was just messy, right? This was just a messy situation, and Jeremy does not handle it very well. He cannot make himself look good in this situation, despite him trying. He doesn't even try that hard, I don't think.
Yeah, and they get into whether he had an ex or not, and he denies it. They get into him sharing the location with Laura, and then all that good stuff. Laura calls him a clown.
Accountability. You've never taken accountability. You've never like flat out apologized. You're a clown, okay? You're
I never
sitting here
apologized.
lie after lie after lie.
Sarah Ann steps in to defend him. What'd you think about that whole ordeal?
It's not a good look for Sarah Ann. Like, she is coming across very defensive. She knows what she did was wrong, but she doesn't really own up to that. Although it seemed like she was sort of owning up to it in the conversation by the lake. However, Laura did say, she's like, it was almost like you were asking me for advice on how to move forward with your relationship. So, I mean, she just came across very desperate, like to fix her reputation, and without actually doing anything to fix her reputation.
I mean, it's pretty brave of them to come on because they get kind of beat up over
Oh,
this.
yeah.
That's because she liked to unfollow us and still follow our fiancés at the lake day, which I thought was strange.
And I think the show probably put some pressure on them because they say like, you kind of spoiled the ending with your little videos, your little TikToks. And then she said,
this is a reality television. It is meant to entertain you. And I think that's exactly what we're doing. We didn't miss with this one, baby.
Nick Lachey was not having any of that.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Also, they were short a wedding. So it's like, hey, we were short a couple weddings. Like, you people better show up to these reunion shows if you're not going to show up to your weddings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I thought it was funny that Jeremy at some point was concerned that he was looking worse than Jimmy.
I likes attention. Since that night happened last Saturday, all he's been fucking talking about is his image and how he looks worse than Jimmy.
Everybody from the very beginning kept throwing shade at Jimmy, and throwing shade at Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, I'm out of it until my own stuff comes in. He's like, I got enough to deal with. I can't be jumping on everybody else's.
Yeah, so is Jeremy the villain, and does Laura have any part to blame in any of this?
I mean, Laura, I don't think she has a part to blame in how everything played out. No. I don't think they would have worked out. Obviously, she's kind of a rigid person and he's not, and I just don't think they're not compatible with each other. But how everything played out is entirely him and Zarian's fault for sure.
Yeah, I think Laura's hard to get along with, but I mean, at the end of the day, what Jeremy did was wrong. And then, the way Sarah Ann did it, they talk about the text messages and all that, but that's a hard recovery, I think, from that. And she tries to explain that away, make it seem innocent, but I don't think many people are buying it.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
So then they bring out Trevor and they go right into the text messages. And this poor guy gets beat up. I mean, I say poor guy because he's getting beat up, but rightfully so. I mean, those text messages were pretty damning.
Yeah, I was surprised he came out there. I mean, good for him for coming out there. He knew there was no way he could spend it. I did wonder how long I was going to sit there and wait for him to figure out something to say. And he eventually says, yeah, I had a plan of something to say, but now I don't know what to say.
Yeah, he does try to spin it, but nobody is buying his bullshit. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no recovering from that. I guess maybe he didn't know that they had the text messages or were going to show them, but I don't know how you recover from that. I mean, he's essentially on this show and he's talking to this other girl, telling her how much he loves her and they're going to get married. And I mean, what can you say to that?
He couldn't say much. And what's funny is that he made the little joke of like, can I just go? Because I can't deny these things, where he's like, so can I just go? And Nick's like, yeah, you can go.
I didn't care about leaving the show. Can I just leave right now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, after Nick kind of berates him for a little bit and gets into the dirt, he's just like, you can go now. So that was.
He even said he could go right then and there, but then Trevor was like, oh, I guess he was saying it kind of like a joke in a way, like, can I go? And then Nick's like, yeah, you can go.
Now, did Trevor look worse than Jeremy in this situation?
Mm-hmm. I think what he did is worse than Jeremy because he went in knowing all the stuff, but I think I don't know if he's just trying to save face or if he really truly does see the wrong in what he did. Whereas Jeremy, I don't think sees the wrong in what he did. So, it depends on how you look at it.
We've got to call you out for it. So, Trevor, I know you asked to leave. You can leave now, man.
These two guys are one and the same to me. I don't even know if I buy Jeremy's crap about not having a relationship while it's going on. I don't think Laura believes a lot of what he says, and so who knows what's the truth with that guy, because he does seem like he lies about a lot. And I think he was shady about meeting up with Sarah Ann, and I don't think he intended to tell Laura. So. But Trevor, I mean, he walked into this thing with ill intentions, it seems like. They even questioned whether he's trying to get famous, and he's like what career? And Vanessa didn't really have anything to say about that, but
it's just wrong. It really is.
Yeah, and I like that he didn't mention his career. So it's like, IT service. Let's talk about it. He was dressed like an IT guy, right? Like that's what he looked like. Everybody out there in their glam, and he's just wearing his casual Tuesday wear to the office. So, but yeah, I mean, if it was to make his career, I mean, maybe he's trying to prove a point here and save face by not plugging whatever it is he does, knowing that other people are probably already know, although I didn't care. So I don't know.
They got to do a better job of vetting these guys. I mean, these two are two of the worst that's been on the show as far as vetting. And I guess Chelsea, with Kwame is part of the casting or something, getting people on. So she needs to step it up apparently instead of treating it like a vacation, I guess. So
that's exactly what I thought when that announcement was made. And she said that, I was like, were you responsible for these people? Because do you see what just happened? I don't know if she was in charge of that one yet, but.
So moving on to AD and Clay.
Yeah, this was intense.
It's kind of more the same with him. He always says good stuff. You're relating to him, but I don't know if he's changed. And he kind of says he's changed because he said he wished he would have got married and everything. But he is a tough one.
He's hard to read. He really is. I so want to believe he's being genuine in everything he's saying, but that's I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to sell it to himself even, you know what I mean? He's hard to read.
At the end of the day, I didn't do the process right. I disrespect the AD. I love her, and it hurts that you don't even think that, So
Clay.
yeah,
He's pretty smart and kind of good with his words and everything. And yeah, I mean, he can like read the room and know what to say, but at the end of the day, it's like you kind of screwed AD over. So, and he even says that. So,
Yeah, I know. And I mean, all these nice things he's saying that she's the love of his life and that he would definitely, date her again and that he regrets or I guess realized it was a mistake not saying yes. But all these nice things he was saying the day of the wedding too. Like, I mean,
yeah.
these were all things that he was selling to the cameras and to her and everything the night before and the day of the wedding. So, how much has changed? I don't know. But I have a feeling we're going to find out because I have a feeling she's going to give him another chance.
I don't know. They are pretty flirty, and I was kind of confused on the nature of their relationship. And even like when she's talking about, because apparently she dated Matt, and she's kind of looking over at Clay, and Clay's making some faces and stuff, but and he handles that with some grace. So like they got a weird relationship. But I just don't know
Yeah.
if you can trust him if you're a woman when it comes to relationships. And he's the
Yeah.
kind of person that'll reel you in and hurt you, I guess. So, but I do
Yeah.
think he's a good guy. I don't think he has ill intentions, but he's got something there he needs to work out. And apparently he's been trying to work it out, but
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't seem to change. To me, he was doing that stuff before. So, yeah, I mean, that's a huge risk to me, but I like the guy though. There's something about him. I like him.
I know, and it is a risk, and you can see her. You can see her in some of the questions she asked. She's like, "Yeah, I'm done with him. Like, I can't put myself in that situation. He hurt me." And then, like you were saying, in their body language, she'd reach over, pat his leg, and like get real flirty. And it's like, and then when they ask, "Would you date him again?" She's like, "Next question." Like she's not answering that question.
And he's of course like, "Oh yeah." So,
I mean, she gave Matthew another chance after he.
yeah, that's crazy. Like, what is she doing? How do you give that guy another chance? And they never. I don't think they really got into what happened with the other Amber. Like,
No, they didn't.
I guess she didn't give him another chance. So, and she left. So I guess she was done with it.
I do like how they're showing receipts though in this reunion show when they're be like, yeah, they're trying to fact check what they were saying in the pods. They're like, well, let's roll the clip.
And then Clay gives props out to Brett. And Brett and
Tiffany.
yeah, Brett and Tiffany. Of
Tiffany.
course, they're highly successful relationship. So that was kind of cool. I mean, Brett seems like an amazing guy. He was kind of like the Johnny of his season and all that. So no issues really with them two.
Yeah.
So
No, he is a good example to follow there.
yeah, and then they get into viewer questions, and Johnny may have finally figured out the birth control situation. I mean, even when this guy talks about this like a year later today, it still makes me scratch my head.
First did more research on the whole subject, and then we came back and found like an actual reason of, hey, let's move forward with this specific option.
So
he never really thought about it. He just, every, I guess, woman he ever dated was on birth control. He just never thought about what that actually meant.
yeah, and then he says like, what I thought it wasn't what it was. I had to do a lot of research, and I'm like, bro, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they got it figured out. I don't know, but
well, they're not pregnant.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have figured it out, honestly. So
they may not have consummated the marriage. I don't know.
And then they ask him, you guys talked about like the big fight. Have you guys had the big fight yet? And they're like, no, not really. So
yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
What are they fighting about?
Yeah, I guess birth control, if anything. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. What's for dinner? I mean, it's always a big one.
Yeah, then they move on to Jimmy and Chelsea, and Jimmy still seems kind of fired up about that conversation with his female friend, where Chelsea spills the beans on air.
Yeah, I mean, although they were looking kind of cozy on the couch, like patting each other's legs and holding each other's hands a little bit, so like they're obviously okay with each other now, but you can tell he's definitely it sounds like maybe that person's not even really talking to him right now.
Well, it sounds like Chelsea and Jessica have like a very strong relationship at this point, which is a little weird.
Yeah, I
And
was
and it looked like Chelsea was feeling a little uncomfortable when Jimmy and Jessica were talking about, hashing their stuff out.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised on how close they became, and I mean that's great, that they were able to do that. But yeah, I think Chelsea kind of wants the whole kumbaya, everybody to get along kind of situation, and I guess it was like that until Jimmy did this one interview, and Jessica was not too happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Jimmy, and I think he's kind of shady with the whole friend request thing, especially like that. Yeah, I think that probably needs to be harped on more. Like him friending Jessica, it's almost like uh, a Jeremy move, but
Are you and Jimmy friends?
I thought we were. I did.
and then Jessica kind of calls him out, and she's like, "I thought we were friends until you did that interview." And then she's really upset about the time he says that they were
Yeah.
together and on that little date. But I'm like, who cares? You guys aren't dating, so what difference does it matter? It was 10 minutes, 2 hours, and they do roll the clip, and Jessica is right in this instance. I'm just kind of like, why are you harping on this?
Right. And I mean, I didn't listen to that interview or watch that interview, but the points that she brings up, I don't think he's really trash talking her or throwing her under a bus in any way. And he kept trying to say that. He's like, well, there was my experience in the situation, and I was just explaining my side of the experience. And I guess she felt like that made her look bad, and I really don't think it did. But
Yeah, it just
personally, to her, it did.
seemed really petty to me, and they spent way too much time. I'm like, this is nothing. Let's
Yes.
get back to like Trevor and Jeremy kind of stuff. No one cares that he said this was like a 10-minute date and then it didn't work out. I'm like, big whoop, So
Well, we
I don't
had to
know.
roll the tape to prove who was right, and she was right.
I do give her that, but I still don't think it was worth arguing about. They
No,
they
it's not.
they quickly move on to like Brittany and Kenneth, and I feel like they gloss over this couple.
Yes, I was so frustrated with this. I was actually watching this with somebody, and we were like, when they just finished that whole little segment, we're like, we're not gonna. Like, he even brought up the word gaslighting. He's like, it was a big thing online. Everybody's talking about, maybe gaslighting was mentioned. How do you feel about that? Whatever. And all the questions were towards him. Like, Brittany never got to speak her side of that, as far as that particular situation and how that breakup played out. And I think they really dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, the only thing Brittany really talked about was like the thing where she didn't want to have sex, and Kenneth was like, "Don't worry, boo, I got you on that one." They never addressed any rumors. They don't even get to like the disrespect, in my opinion, that Kenneth was showing her. They talk about the phone. They kind of make it more about the phone than anything, and I'm like, there's more to it than the phone. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're telling me, and this guy tries to make it sound like I need my phone to get with the kids. I'm like, over your fiance? Come on, man. There's something
Yeah.
not right here, and you should at least address the rumors, and you should at least probe Kenneth more. Like they really let him off the hook compared to like Trevor and
They did.
Jeremy and things like that. So I was really disappointed in that segment.
They did. I was very disappointed in that as well. I mean, great for them for being friends. I love that they got the question at the end, like, okay, so you guys like basically spend every day together, talking on the phone together. So what about future relationships? Because that's been a major topic this season is, can you stay friends with your exes? However, they never did sleep together. So, does that change the situation there?
Yeah, I don't know.
'Cause-
And apparently Kenneth and Brittany are pretty close friends. They seem more flirty with their friendship than they did when they were on their honeymoon thing or whatever. So
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, they announce who's going to be on the perfect match from this kind of crew here. And Micah and Izzy are going to be on perfect match, and Jessica is too. I thought Jessica was
Yeah.
dating another cast member too, so at least that was some of the rumors. I was a little confused about her being on, so I don't know what's going on with her.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that she would do another show. Like, she talks about how much her daughter is important to her, and then she's going to go away again to do another dating show. But I mean, I guess, if it, I mean, you get paid to be on these, so I don't know. It
Yeah,
just
and
seemed, I felt like an odd choice for her to go.
I don't even think The Perfect Match is the greatest show for getting relationships because people are spread out everywhere and people are getting swapped in and out and matching. So that to me is an odd show for someone with a kid to go on. But
Yeah, it's more of a hookup show versus like an actual, like, finding your life partner show. And I think that's what her ultimate goal is. But I mean, I don't know.
and
I don't know why she has such a hard time meeting people. Look at her. She's
yeah,
beautiful.
true.
I mean, like,
And Micah and her are pretty close apparently.
yeah. I mean, I don't know when that happened, but that's good.
Well, it does. Micah on her season was criticized for being one of the mean girls. So, like, she always has her female crew. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and Izzy, like, they tried to like trick us a little bit there. I'm like, Micah and Izzy? Why?
Yeah, that's
For
what I was like.
long.
Oh my God, is that what's going on here?
Right. And I mean, even like leading up to it before the announcement, I'm like, why are Micah and Izzy sitting together? I thought that was just an odd reason for them to sit together. And then they throw that question to him, do you want to announce it? It's like, what are you announcing?
And apparently Izzy has fixed his credit. So he's good to go
Yeah.
now.
The credit's fixed.
All good.
You know?
All good.
And Clay apparently does not microwave Gatorade. I wasn't even tracking that, but apparently people were talking about that. So
It was not on my bingo card, but apparently it was an issue.
he was confused. Like, why would I microwave Gatorade? No one microwaves liquids like that. So, but what did you think of the reunion overall?
Overall, I thought it was pretty decent. We did, Vanessa did reference their relationship at one point in time, but they kind of kept themselves out of it for the most part. The only thing I could really say I wish they had done better was Brittany and Kenneth. I think they really kind of dropped the ball in that relationship, in that conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad they brought in Trevor, even though I don't know how they do it because this guy's got to be thinking it's not going to go well in here. So I don't know what he thought he was going to say, but it was never going to turn out good for this guy, especially having the text and all that being true. I mean, that's ridiculous. And then, I mean,
Right.
I thought they did a good job on the Jeremy and Trevor thing. Of course, they come to Johnny twice and Amy, but they're a pretty boring couple since there's no drama or even like tense situations going with them, and they do get into like the
Yeah.
Jimmy stuff a little bit. But so overall, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was an hour and a half, and I thought they needed to do. And I agree with you. They needed to figure out what's going on with Kenneth more, and I guess that's just not something they wanted to touch upon. And who knows what's going on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Also, they brought up the Megan Fox thing, but why did they not like
Oh
pull
yeah,
the audience, ask the question,
they
ask
can't
people
get
on
Megan
stage?
Fox to go
Nothing.
there and give her a hug or something. That would have been great,
I
but.
that would have been great, but I would have liked to have like had more discussion around that, since that was one of the polarizing topics.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about that than the Jessica Jimmy interview thing, but but
The
they did
10-minute
touch up on
argument.
that, so that was kind of cool, and she seemed to kind of brush that off. She seemed to be a pretty good sport with that, which is cool because that's the right thing to do, and I hope that doesn't bother her too much in the future.
Yeah, I mean, she made the comment again. She's like, I made an offhand comment that I wish I hadn't made. It's like, the comment was strategic. Like, you're not going to talk yourself out of that. But I do believe people have told her that, because I, again, will say it again, I do see the resemblance. I thought it before she even said it. So, but I would have liked to hear the audience chime in on that a little bit, or, her fellow castmates.
All right, guys, that's our show. Love is Blind is complete. We really want to know what you guys think. So please, if you like this video, like and subscribe and drop us some comments and let us know what you think. We'll catch you guys later. See ya.